see you here, Bill. Alright, folks, we're starting the show. I'm going to be over here. I'm going to be here. I don't know if you guys are over here, though. Alright? Beach Boys are great. Thank you, Bill. Love you, Bill. Thank you, Bill, for your excitation. I'm picking up excitation. I'm picking up. Are we here? Is the show started? Are we going, Bill? That's where you were. Getting my hair did. No, I was, good morning. Morning, Pacers. Pacers is here. How did Pacers get here first? Good morning. How did Pacers get here first, Bill? What are you doing? Quit hanging out at my house. You gotta go open up the gym. What are you doing, Bill? Get over here. Derek Anderson has got here before you. What the? I'm gonna start saying cuss words, and I gotta pay double for those now, Bill. What are you doing? Go! You gotta be over here. Bill's over here. Bill's over here. I'm here. You're there. And we got a little guy right there. We got a little guy right there. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. It's my co-host today. Oh yeah, you can hear that. He doesn't want anything to do with it. Doesn't want anything to do with it. Who is this young? You shush, nerd. Who is this? Good morning over here. Good morning here. Good morning there. Good morning. Okay. Per Bill. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Niffer. Good morning, Green Table. Good morning, Pacers. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Notorious. Good morning to Waz. Good morning to Nerd. Good morning to Michael Nerd. Good morning to RX. Good morning to B Hendrix. Good morning to Classic. Good morning to everybody, wherever you guys want to be. And thanks for joining us on Pop's channel here. Thanks for joining us on T_and. You know where the hell you are. You're already here. Thanks for joining us over there on I think this is how the song goes. So I think this is how the song goes. Thank you, Bill. Okay? I love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. Ooh, I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitation. Woo! I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me good citations. Or excitation, not good citation. If you get a good citation, you gotta pay that real quick, and then you gotta mail that in. All right. Close my eyes. She's somehow closer now. Softly smile. I know she must be kind. You ever have a soft smiler who's also a bully? No, you haven't. If you've ever seen a soft smile, you've never felt bad. When I look in her eyes, she goes with me to a blossom world. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me woo. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me excitation. Like for we talked about this over here, and we're gonna talk about it over here, and then he doesn't want to hear about it. If it's an excitation, you don't have to pay that. Apparently, it's done. It's X. Alright, it's a parking ticket she's already paid for. That's love. Okay, that's love. If a a meter person pays your ticket after giving you the ticket, that's good vibrations right there. Alright? That's excitations right. Alright, that was Bill's contribution to the show. Everybody blame Bill for that one. Thanks, Bill, for that. Thanks. Appreciate you. I asked people what they wanted me to do for today's show, and Bill said, "Can you alienate the entire audience real quick?" I can absolutely do that. Good morning to CCS. Am I seeing double over here? See, if you're wondering what the hell I'm doing over here, is Herbie here? Because Herbie knows. Kim knows. Kim with the soft smile. Alright, she knows. Alright, maybe, I don't know. Derek Anderson knows. If you're wondering what the hell am I looking at over here, then I'm like, just ask them. Seeing, we're just having fun around here. Having fun. We're being goofy. Here's what I want to do. I think we haven't done these in a long time. Is Herbie here? Is Herbie even here? Is Herbie even here? Derek Anderson says, we're not telling him. We're not telling him. If you don't know yet, then you don't know. Is Herbie here? Good morning. Is he on break? Did he decide to go live a life? Good morning, Cleany, by the way. Good morning. Good morning. CCS, this is why. I get it. Where were you yesterday? Nipper Mama says. Where was I yesterday? I was off trying to be a normal person. You know what I mean? I was off trying to go get a... I don't know if I can say this word on camera. Hold on a minute. I'm going to go off camera real quick so I can say this word. No one can blame me for saying this word, okay? 1 second, I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to say this word, okay? I was trying to get a job. You know what I mean? That's all. That's what I was doing, okay? I can't say that stuff on camera, though, alright? I got a reputation to uphold, alright? I got things to do and people to be that aren't responsible, okay? That's what I got, okay? Niffer says, I wish you luck. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're supposed to tell me not to. You're supposed to tell me a way to not have to do with that, okay? You're supposed to tell me that, there's a way to make money by giving people random pot tarot cards. Alright? You're supposed to tell me that. You're not a good friend that says, oh, well, I wish you good luck and I hope you'll find a job. What kind of a horrible person wishes a person and hopes they find a job? I'm kidding. I mean, it's a lot better than saying, man, I hope you can pay your bills. Good luck. You know what I mean? Woo! Oh, gosh. Alright. Let's just do it. I'm gonna cut the cards real quick. And if Herbie's not even here, I hope you find money and not a job. Thank you. That's a friend right there. That's a friend right now. Herbie's not even here? Alright, well, that's fine. We're just gonna do cards. Who wants a card? Who wants a card? Let me bring this in closer so I can see who all wants a card. For those of you over here, they're like, what are you talking about? Cards? I want a card over here. No, we gotta go over here if you want to. All right. Who wants a card? Rodman? Hold on. Let's go. You, right? Tribal, right? You. Rodman says, we're doing cards. I can't find my decks anywhere. Rodman. All right, Rodman. You know what, Rodman? Let's just do it. Let's just give you a 3-card reading. Let's just give a 3-card reading to Rodman real quick. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do a 3-card reading. I don't want to do a 3-card reading, Rodman. All right, not today. We're gonna do everybody gets a card today, and then until we get to the Tower card, and then as soon as we get to the Tower card, Rodman, then we stop. Okay. So, but we're gonna start. We're gonna cut it one more time in the middle, and we're gonna cut it right there. Okay. So we're gonna start with Rodman. We're gonna give Rodman a card. Rodman, that's your card right there. Okay. Boom, that's your card. This is you. It's the pot tarot thing. Let me do the spiel for you over here. All right. The spiel is I have no idea what's going on. I have tarot cards that were sent to me by some guy in Louisiana who plays with goats. I don't know. I think that's enough to tell you where the tarot cards came from. Okay. And we. Alright, tangent real quick. Cleany, I saw what you just did with the smoke, boop. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that anymore. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that anymore, and that's what bums me out, is I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that anymore. That's what bums me out. Okay? That's what bums me out. I don't know if I can do that anymore. Because I don't know if I'm going to get, a little tester. I don't know. Pacers. I know. But, I don't know. Isn't it notorious? I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do that. Okay. Rodman. First card goes to you, Rodman. Right? Pacers. Oh, right? Pacers. Sure. Ask for forgiveness, never permission. Absolutely. And that's the only way I can go. See, Hendrix, see, everybody, you never know where and who and what, so I don't know. Pacer says, a flask. We got people, I don't even have that kind of conversation going on over here, which is the dangerous one. No, we got, come on, Pacers. Flask. Rodman, top card, this is you. It's been you the entire time. Pacers, you're a terrible influence, by the way. Alright. If it's upside down, we'll write it up. Alright? We'll right side it up unless it's the Tower. If it's the Tower, then we end. So Rodman, you get first card. Here you go, Rodman. First card. What is the first card? It's the 2 of... Why can't we bong friends? 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 Yeah! I like it. Nice job, Rodman. There's your card. You got 2 of bongs. Why can't we bong friends? Why can't we bong friends? Alright, so it's we got a party going on. You bring yours, I'll bring mine. We'll be different, but we're together, and we're doing it all together. Nice job, Rodman. That's your card. We got 2 of bongs. We've got 2 of bongs. Alright, who's next? Let's see. Kim said she's being ridiculous. My dean wanted to fire me because they saw Brock consuming on air. Sorry, Kim. Kim, you get the next card. Kim, you get the next card. You get the next card. You get... That's what happens when your dean catches me consuming on air. Uh-huh. That's what happens. We all fall down. Uh-huh. I convinced them that I wasn't. That wasn't me. Yeah, but it's not me. I didn't do that. Exactly. No, you gotta break them all. You gotta kill all your darlings sometimes. Okay? This is you. I'm gonna turn this one like into a good way. You gotta kill all your darlings. Alright? You gotta make sure that you're alright. You just do... All this is like 10 ideas that didn't work. Didn't quite work. That's all. 10 of pipes. That's all. Alright? So... But, you know, I think you could probably use, like, maybe one of those. I don't know if you want to. You know, they're not shattered. They're just, like, super... The pot deck over here. For those of you who are like, what the hell is he reading from? It's the pot deck. I don't know. Alright, here we go. So, there you go. Kim, you got probably the saddest card in the deck. I'm sorry you almost got fired because of me, but it's kind of funny. Alright, Cleanie. Good morning. Who's next? Good morning. Jesus Christ. Let's get you a card. Jesus Christ in Australia. We got 7 of joints. This is given you directly from Clean Girl. Clean Girl has given... I mentioned Cleanie. I was going to give Cleanie a card, and then my brain was like, don't do the Cleanie card yet. Alright? But, like, it's from Cleanie to thinking out... Materializing. Is that the word? What's the word? Well, it's not materializing. It's, What's the word? It's... What's the... You know what I mean? You see it happen, and you want it to happen. It's manifesting. Thank you. Materializing. This is why Derek Anderson is on here, to make sure that my vernacular and my English gets corrected. Thank you, Derek Anderson, for being my editor-in-chief. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Derek Anderson, here's a card for you. Derek, you get 8 of joints. Hold on, we got 7 of joints, okay? And then Derek, you get the 8. Is it 8? I think that's 8. Is it 8? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's 8. It's 8 of joints. You're still hard at work. Derek's still hard at work. That's all. Derek is just like, you know what, Cleanie gave up at 7. I'm at 8. I give my friends 8 joints, not 7. That's what this is. That's all Derek. This is just Derek flexing. Derek's like, I take care of my friends. I roll them an 8th one. Okay? Ooh. Alright. I roll them an 8th. An 8th. Get it? An 8th. I see you. Alright, so we've got, who's next? Who gets one more? Let's throw one more. The Waz, are you here? The Waz? The Mushy? Mush? You get a card. Your card. Mushmouth. You got the Tower card. No, now we gotta stop. You got the Tower card, Mushmouth. Look, here's what I'm saying, Mushy, is, you're a really big guy, and you knock things over a lot, okay? Alright? You gotta watch where you're going, okay? That's all. You just gotta watch where you're like, especially when you're going in for the... We're not gonna use the H word yet, because we're not there yet, alright? Don't get ahead of me, alright? Mushmouth says, I am a tower. Oh, boy. Thank you guys for playing along. We could have gone through the entire deck here. Michael Patterson, I almost had a card for you. I didn't know, but we got to the tower, and so we made it through 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth card. Fifth card, Tower. What a day. What a day, Rodman, no. Why can't we bunk friends? Why can't we bunk friends? Why can't we... if you're wondering what the Tower card looks like, it looks like a tower, but it's broken. Because that's what the Tower card looks like. Alright. That was a lot quicker than I expected, folks. That was a lot quicker than I expected. Do we have any... I don't know what else... Because I'm going to get into some reading and such, but I usually don't start that till about half hour into this stuff. So, I don't know what else. What else are we doing? We got 9 minutes before I start reading and I bore you guys to death. I want to. Tim says break the radio. Whatever we want, Mike Barabel says. Jesus Christ. Are there any bags outside? That's funny. That was a lot of fun last week. And I'll be honest with you, Thursday, when Pop said there was a bag, and he was giving me the story of, like, hearing it back, I fully expected, like, a big garbage bag of wackadoo, and I looked out the front door. I didn't know he was looking out the side door, or the back door, and the side street. I thought he was out in the front street, and I was like, why hasn't anybody picked up the bag in the front, in the main street yet? It would make sense, it's on the side street. So, carrying I should have brought the Swiffer. Should have poked at it with the Swiffer. So when he said, I was like, there's no way I'm going to go look at that bag. No way. But I'll be honest with you. I watched a clip from Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman's, I think it's Big Adventure, and the clip is when he is in the... Why am I looking over here? Go, because there's a show going on. The clip is when he and Dottie are talking in the bike shop, and he's telling Dottie, I'm a rebel. Let me try and find the monologue here. Hold on. Let's do this. I'm going to try and find the monologue here. Why can't we bunk friends? Why can't we... This is what goes on in my head when I'm trying to, like, look up things. And I don't know where to find it sometimes. So, Pee Wee, Dottie bike scene. Let's get to it. Pee Wee's Big Adventures. We'll get to it. This is one of my favorite quotes of all time. And here we go. There's a lot of things about me you don't know. Okay. There's a lot of things you don't know anything about, Dottie. Things you wouldn't understand. Things you couldn't understand. Things you shouldn't understand. I don't understand. I'm a rebel. Right, and so he goes, hold on, hold on. You don't want to get mixed up with me. There we go. Okay. Let's do it again. Let's do it. All right, that was first take. All right, that was our first take. Boom. I watched this scene from Pee Wee, and then this is what inspired everything that happened in the video, or with the bag. There's a lot of things about me you don't know anything about, Dottie. Things you wouldn't understand. Things you couldn't understand. Things you shouldn't understand. I don't understand. You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel. So long, Dottie. And then he runs off and he does his little giggle jump outside the bike door. And so I was like, I gotta run like Pee Wee. Alright? If you don't run like Pee Wee, then what are you watching Pee Wee Herman for? You know what I mean? If you aren't getting inspired by Pee Wee Herman, then what are you watching him for? Alright? Paul Rubens for life. Okay? Wait, laters, y'all. Time to get ready for work. CCS is gone. Bye, CCS. Woo. I think he's over here now. Alright, let's take a swiggle swaggle. What was in the bag? It was just beer bottles. It was just like empty Mike's Hard Lemonade beer bottles. Like I went out there and I poked at it, and in my head, I didn't even know you guys were following me. And like I was just gonna go look at the bag, come back, and give a report. I didn't know Pops was following me, and so I was like, "Oh, you guys are following me! I gotta put on a show." So that's where the whole throwing the shoe at things came from. Is and I don't know. Cheers. Stay tuned for more crazy antics like that, I guess, huh? Alright. Where are we at? 9:26? We can do one more song. We can do one more song before we get into the serious business of learning. We can do one more song. Nerd Nature, give me a song. Nerd, give me a song. Give me a song, nerd. Give me a nerd. Give me a song. I want Nerd Nature. Good Morning Sandman. Give me a song to break, and we're gonna break it, and and we'll do it. Justin Flower says Thumpasaurus. Almost, maybe. Strutting. Nothing else matters. Metallica. Oh boy. All right. Oh God. Okay. Oh boy. Here we go. Never stand for what they do. No. I know. Okay, alright. Settle down there. Settle down, nerd. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna try and do this as pretentiously dumb as I can. You know, correctly. Right there. Okay. So close, not how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Right? You want to know you want to. Forever trusting who you are, or who we are. And nothing else matters. Okay. Alright. I see you. I feel it. Here we go. Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. Okay, alright, I can feel it. Here we go. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. Oh, now. Trust I seek and I'll find in you. Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view. And nothing else matters. Never cared for what they do. Never cared for what they know. But I know. So close, no matter how far. It couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever by trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what they do, never cared for what they know, but I know. Right, and then you get the jam, you get the meow, 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 meow. I never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we lived it our way. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek, and I find in you. Every day for us, something new. Open mind for a different view, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what they say, never cared for what they do. I never cared for what they play. I never cared for what they know. And I know, yeah. So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Alright. Trust I seek, and I'll find in you. Every day more of something new. I never cared for what they know. I know. Alright, we're gonna start to go through The Undiscovered Self by Carl Jung. Thank you, Nerd Nature, for that. Thank you. We're going to go through The Undiscovered Self by Carl Jung. We're going to do this a little bit differently. There's 6 parts. So we're going to read 6 little chapters. We're going to read each chapter, and we're going to talk. I might heckle, we're going to do whatever, okay? Alright, so, by Carl Jung. This is all part of the getting to know yourself. So, but I actually have never read this book, so I'll be reading this book along with you guys for the very first time. The Undiscovered Self. Let me read the back of this real quick. Written by someone. There's credits in the book for people to write this stuff. Alright, Jung didn't write the back. Someone did. Not me. In this challenging and provocative work, Dr. Carl Jung, one of history's greatest minds, argues that civilization's future depends on our ability as individuals to resist the collective forces of society. Only by gaining an awareness and understanding of one's unconscious mind and true inner nature, the undiscovered self, can we as individuals acquire the self-knowledge that is antithetical to ideological fanaticism. But this requires that we face our fear of the duality of the human psyche, the existence of good and the capacity for evil in every individual. In this seminal book, Jung compellingly argues that only then can we begin to cope with the dangers posed by mass society, the sum total of individuals, and resist the potential threats posed by those in power. So that's what we're going to be learning, is resist the potential threats posed by those in power. Alright, so here we go. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's just do it. Prescription for salvation, distilling the experience of a lifetime, and penetrating book, at once a serious warning. Carl Gustav, I don't want to read the historical little thing. Let's just not do that. Let's just dive in. Alright, nobody needs to know about the actual Carl Jung. You know about Carl. If you don't know about Carl Jung, Google. Okay? If you do know about Carl Jung, I suggest Googling. Alright, make sure you may or may not know what you know about Carl Jung. Part 1. The plight of the individual in modern society. I'll try and read this normally. Sorry about the back voice. I like the back voice though. And that's challenging. Okay, alright, here we go. What will the future bring from time immemorial? What will the future bring? From time immemorial. I'm gonna learn how to read. We're learning how to read. Not only have I never read this, I'm learning how to read also. So, good thing we're learning from a primer. Immemorial. A long time ago, this question has occupied men's minds, though not always to the same degree. Historically, it is chiefly in times of physical, political, economic, and spiritual distress that men's eyes turn with anxious hope to the future, and when anticipation, utopias, and apocalyptic visions multiply. One thinks, for instance, of the chiliastic expectations of the Augustan age at the beginning of the Christian era. What am I reading? Or of the changes in the spirit of the West which accompanied the end of the first millennium. Chiliastic, Chiliast, chiliastic expectations of the Augustan. Moving on. Today, as the end of the second millennium draws near, we are again living in, and this is before 2000, so here we go. We are again living in an age filled with apocalyptic images of universal destruction. What is the significance of the split symbolized by the Iron Curtain, which divides humanity into two halves? What will become of our civilization and of man himself if the hydrogen bombs begin to go off? Or if the spiritual and moral darkness of state absolutism should spread over Europe? This was written, when was this written? This was written back in 57. Wrote this back in 1957. So you got like nuclear world really bearing down on people right now. So he's writing this in the time of bomb threats or bomb scares and like learning nuclear hide under your desk, kids. Warnings and such. You know what I mean? Like wackadoo times. So this is when Carl Jung is writing this. He's like, there's a lot going on around us, folks. How are we dealing with nuclear energy now? Alright? We have no reason to take this threat lightly. Everywhere in the West, there are subversive minorities who, sheltered by our humanitarianism and our sense of justice, hold the incendiary torches ready, with nothing to stop the spread of their ideas except the critical reason of a single, fairly intelligent, mentally stable stratum of the population, the rest of us. One should not, however, overestimate the thickness of this stratum. How many of us are there? It varies from country to country in accordance with national temperaments. Also, it is regionally dependent on public education and is subject to the influence of acutely disturbing factors of political and economic nature. Anyone can go wackadoo. Taking plebiscites, that's a word I haven't seen in a long time, taking plebiscites as a criterion, one could, on an optimistic estimate, put its upper limit at about 40% of the electorate. So about 40% of us are stable, according to Carl Jung. A rather more pessimistic view would not be unjustified either, since the gift of reason and critical reflection is not one of man's outstanding peculiarities. Man, Carl Jung is really trashing us right now. And even where it exists, it proves to be wavering and inconstant. The more so, as a rule, the bigger the political the groups are. So the bigger the group is, the dumber you are, according to Carl Jung. The mass crashes out the insight and reflections that are still possible with the individual, and this necessarily leads to doctrinaire and authoritarian tyranny if ever the constitutional state should succumb to a fit of weakness. So, what Jung is saying is that eventually, quiet. Everybody needs to quiet. Oh, we're all trying to be quiet? Alright, you need to be quiet. Rational argument can be conducted with some prospect of success, only so long as the emotionality of a given situation does not exceed a certain critical degree. You can talk someone down as long as they're not crying too hard. If the affective temperature rises above this level, the possibility of reasons having any effect ceases, and its place is taken by slogans and chimerical wish fantasies. Propaganda. That is to say, a sort of collective possession results, which rapidly develops into a psychic epidemic. Boy, haven't we seen this. Groups rise up, they create their own little slogans, they got their own little t-shirts and merch. Oh yeah, look at us! And then they disappear. In this state, all those elements whose existence is merely tolerated as asocial under the rule of reason come to the top. Such individuals are by no means rare curiosities to be met with only in prisons and lunatic asylums. Alright, people thinking outside the box aren't always crazy. For every manifest case of insanity, there are, in my estimation, at least 10 latent cases who seldom get to the point of breaking out openly, but whose views and behavior, for all their appearance of normality, are influenced by unconsciously morbid and perverse factors. Some of us are crazy and we don't even know it yet. There are, of course, no medical statistics on the frequency of latent psychoses, for understandable reasons. But even if their numbers should amount to less than 10 times that of the manifest psychoses and of manifest criminality, the relatively small percentage of the population figures they represent is more than compensated for the peculiar dangerousness of these people. Their mental state is that of a collectively excited group ruled by affective judgments and wish fantasies. In the state of collective possession, they are the adapted ones, and consequently they feel quite at home in it. Haven't you developed a worldview and gone, well, yeah, this is exactly how things are? that's been completely opposite of where you were before? I have. It's called, they know from their own experience the language of these conditions. And they know how to handle them. Their chimerical ideas, upborn by fanatical resentment, appeal to the collective irrationality and find fruitful soil there. For they express all those motives and resentments which lurk in more normal people under the cloak of reason and insight. They are, therefore, despite their small number in comparison with the population as a whole, dangerous as sources of infection precisely because the so-called normal person possesses only a limited degree of self-knowledge. Got a long way to go. I might not even make it through. We might have to we might have to split these sections into sections. It's a long ways. Especially with Jung. And the way that he writes. What the hell? Basically, we're all Agent Smiths. Trying to figure out ways to get out of the friggin' internet. Most people confuse self-knowledge with knowledge of their conscious ego personalities. Anyone who has ego consciousness at all takes it for granted that he knows himself. But the ego only knows its own contents, not the unconscious and its contents. People measure their self-knowledge by what the average person in their social environment knows of themselves, not by the real psychic facts which are, for the most part, hidden from them. Yeah, but what, if it's like when you're scrolling, you're like, man, I wish I had that life. That life looks like it belongs on a scroll. And you try and make your life look like it belongs on a scroll. When in fact maybe it doesn't belong on a scroll. Maybe it does belong in the scroll, and it just needs to be a different scroll. I don't know. In this respect, the psyche behaves like the body, with its physiological and anatomical structure, of which the average person knows very little too. It's totally true. I gotta tell you, I asked a girlfriend of mine, a friend who's a girl, I don't know, do we all have colons? I don't know. Do we all have colon? Do you have a colon? Niffer, do you have a colon? I don't know. I didn't know. I don't know. I'm almost 45, and I don't know if we all have colons. Although it lives in it and with it, most of it is totally unknown to the layman, and special scientific knowledge is needed to acquaint consciousness with what is known of the body, not to speak of all that is not known, which also exists. What is commonly called self-knowledge is, therefore, a very limited knowledge, most of it dependent on social factors of what goes on in the human psyche. Can you believe that? I'm asking you how you are to know how I am. Hence, one is always coming up against the prejudice that such and such a thing does not happen with us, or in our family, or among our friends and acquaintances, and on the other hand, one meets with equally illusory assumptions about the alleged presence of qualities which merely serve to cover up the true facts of the case. Who the hell are you? In this broad belt of unconsciousness, which is immune to conscious criticism and control, we stand defenseless, open to all kinds of influences and psychic infections. As with all dangers, we can guard against the risk of psychic infection only when we know what is attacking us, and how, where, and when the attack will come. Since self-knowledge is a matter of getting to know the individual facts, theories help very little in this respect. For the more a theory lays claim to universal validity, the less capable it is of doing justice to the individual facts. Any theory based on experience is necessarily statistical. That is to say, it formulates an ideal average, which abolishes all exceptions at either end of the scale and replaces them by an abstract mean. I believe that's mathematical talk for who knows. This mean is quite valid, though it need not necessarily occur in reality. Despite this, it figures in the theory as an unassailable fundamental fact. Maybe the average doesn't actually exist, is what Carl Jung is saying. Maybe there's no such thing as a normal. But we want there to be. There has to be, doesn't there? We all seek relevance to each other. That's not in the book, I said that out loud. The exceptions at either extreme, though equally factual, do not appear in the final result at all, since they cancel each other out. If, for instance, I determine the weight of each stone in a bed of pebbles and get an average weight of 145 grams, those are heavy stones, this tells me very little about the real nature of the pebbles. Anyone who thought on the basis of these findings that he could pick up a pebble of 145 grams at the first try would be in it for a very serious disappointment. It's a heavy-ass pebble. Indeed, it might well happen that however long he searched, he would not find a single pebble weighing exactly 145 grams. The statistical method shows the facts in the light of the ideal average, but does not give a picture of the empirical reality. The actual list of numbers, the empirical reality, like you got 1 all the way up to 140 split 1 all the way up to like 290, I guess. It would be the half of 1 to 290. All those numbers. That's the empiricalism. That's the, okay. While reflecting an indisputable aspect of reality, it can falsify the actual truth in a most misleading way. This is particularly true of theories which are based on statistics. The distinctive thing about real facts, however, is their individuality. Not to put too fine a point on it, one could say that the real picture consists of nothing but exceptions to the rule, and that, in consequence, absolute reality has predominantly the character of irregularity. What? Carl Jung is saying never trust statistics. You don't know how they made them. You don't know how many numbers they used to make those stats. We got donuts. We got good morning to the donuts. Laura Harmon. Laura. Good morning, Laura. Laura, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I guess we can do a little bit more. Do a little bit more reading. Good morning. These considerations must be borne in mind whenever there is talk of a theory serving as a guide to self-knowledge. Laura, the donuts are for newcomers to the show. We give donuts out to new people. If you're not over here, you're over here. If you show up tomorrow, much different show. Promise you. But here we are. All right. So thanks for being here, Laura. Thank you. Yeah. All right. These considerations must be borne in mind whenever there is. I'm going to go through one more paragraph here, and then we'll end it, and then we'll stop. And these are long. This is going to take a while to get through. Thank goodness, huh? Yay, new book. All right. Starting again. These considerations must be borne in mind whenever there is talk of a theory serving as a guide to self-knowledge. There is and can be no self-knowledge based on theoretical assumptions. For the object of self-knowledge is an individual, a relative exception and an irregular phenomenon. Hence, it is not the universal and the regular that characterize the individual, but rather the unique. He is not to be understood as a recurrent unit, but as something unique and singular, which, in the last analysis, can neither be known nor compared with anything else. At the same time, man, as a member of a species, can and must be described as a statistical unit. Humans are weird. But as a single person, as one unit, as a nerd nature, as a Kim, as a CCS, as a Waz, you're pretty friggin' weird too. For this purpose, he has to be regarded as a comparative unit. So if I compare the Waz with Kim, the CCS, the nerd nature, the Pacers, the Page, if I compare you all, Mushmouth is still taller than all of you. This results in a universally valid anthropology, or psychology, as the case may be, with an abstract picture of man as an average unit from which all individual features have been removed. With Mushmouth in the group, I am 6'1". With Mushmouth out of the group, I drop back down to 5'8.5". 7.5, 5'7.5". But if you add Mushmouth's number to the group, I average back up to 6'1". That's how tall he is. That's what he's talking about. That's the example. Okay? It is precisely these features which are of paramount importance for understanding man. If I want to understand an individual human being, I must lay aside all scientific knowledge of the average man and discard all theories in order to adopt a completely new and unprejudiced attitude. Tall people are fine. Tall people are fine. Okay? Unprejudiced. Tall people are okay. I can only approach the task of understanding with a free and open mind, whereas knowledge of man, or insight into human character, presupposes all sorts of knowledge about mankind in general. But once you get to actually know Mushmouth, he's no longer just the tallest guy in the world. Then he's Mushmouth, you know? Alright. So Carl Jung's laying down the basis of how it is that we're supposed to look at ourselves individually and as, units within a collective group. He's given us like examples statistically. It's like, look, you're going to be taller with Mushmouth in the group. If you kick Mushmouth out of your group, you'll be shorter. So it's up to you what you want to be. Do you want to be tall and you want to be short? You know what I mean? Another example of is the average person eats, I don't know, maybe like a pound or two of food a day. Maybe less. Probably less. Alright? But like, that also includes the 300 pounds of food that you eat on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and maybe when you get married / divorced. I don't know. Right? So that includes 4 days, and if you're doing that every year, you're very well endowed with the money. Like, who gets married, once a year? Other than like Elizabeth Taylor or Larry King. Those are references that are older than me, by the way. Okay? So, alright, folks. I think with that, let me go. I'm gonna let the dog out. Hold on. Here's the topic. Let me give you a topic. Alright, so here we are. Let's just get out of here. Let me drink from, I got the big dog. I got the big dog and Mountain Dew. I think that's the end of our show. I think that's it. Let me shut down. Let me shut down here. I'm gonna shut down T_and_crew over here. Let me shut down here. It's been a lot of fun. As I shut down here, give me some scrolls and such to check out over here. Love you guys over here. Let's get out of here. It's the Captain Obvious. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Okay, let's go down. Let's get out of here. Love you. Bye bye. I'm shutting down. Done. Alright, we got that. I'm gonna plug her in. Plug it in. Okay. Perfect. Got that going on. Woo! Alright, let me take a drink here. And got a little on my shirt there. Who cares? Let's scroll out. It's been a heck of a good show, folks. Thanks for being with me. I'm glad to be with you. Glad to have this opportunity. I'll let you guys know about the job. Okay? I'll let you guys know. Let's go. Let's scroll up. Let's start off with Niffer. Hold on. Let's start off with let's start off with Niffer. Let's start off with no, Jesus Christ says he's out. Jody's sends so much respect for you okay, Laura, little Laura, we got Mushmouth at the I'm looking for a J-O-B. I can't do the dibble. I can, but I'm not gonna do it on here. Alright. Herbie. Hey Herbie! Hey, there you are, Herbie. Good morning, Herbie. Nerd Nature, that stuff will convert. Okay, Carnivorous, good morning, D. Anderson, Jesus Christ, Captain Jinx, right? Captain Obvious, have a wonderful day, Brock and friends, you too, Captain Bill D with the emote, Sniffer Mama, can we hug Ruff today? Ruff left, he left, he didn't want to be hugged, he knew, it's like, that's the end of the show, he's like, this is the time when I have to go beg Brock to give me a walk, and so, usually he's begging me for a walk right now, and don't worry, we'll go for a walk, alright, we'll go for a walk. Have a wonderful day. Captain and can we see love, peace, and bud grease, clean girl, Captain Obvious with the emotes with that, I love it. Big dog, Mountain Dew morning. It is, Laura, absolutely is. Never mama, nerd, Rodman, love you guys. Why can't we bum friends, Rodman, right? Mr. 420 to you. Shutting it down, shut it down. Carnivorous, I'll go back and watch. Okay, catch a bill, mate, from Jesus Christ. Mushmouth, the message. Oh, you're fine, Mush. I love you, my friend. Don't ever. Mushmouth is the only person that retracts his own messages constantly. I'm kidding, Mushy. I'm kidding. The exception, have a great day, you too. Laura with the love. Jody's so awesome. That's the time of the year with the right. Sing it and Jesus Christ on the page. And the exception, we need our. I'll get there. I'm getting there. Big exception. Bill D, have a great night. Absolutely. The Waz with the emotes. Fikey with the emotes. P. Hendricks, take care of yourself and be kind to one another. You don't have to. You don't have to. You can go be a slob and be rude. You can do that. You can do that. You can be human. You don't have to, but you can. Alright, Nipper Mom, everyone have a beautiful day. Love you all. Love you too, Nipper Mom. Bill D, do. Kim B with the emotes. HB, hey HB. Rodman, definitely not the same. I'll get there, Rodman, okay? Nerd Nature, love you much, fam. Super fun on the early you of your day. Michael Branson, have a great day. Crew, Shanti. Pose Nick with the wets. Jesus Christ, I only love, see, I know how to do this. I know how to read Jesus Christ's text. Not always. We've got Walsh, hey Pops, I subscribe, I send, awesome, thank you. Derek Anderson, thank you for an awesome morning. See you all tomorrow and have an excellent day. Jody's, the Waz, you look different here. I know, it's the lighting, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's Niffer Mama, good morning, the Waz, there Waz! You know, it's and we got Classic, and we got Jesus Christ. Ruff had foresight, he really did. He's like, he had 4 paws, too. Different Mama, good morning, Classic, Blaster, Rodman, Jody's, Kimberly, Ruff had things to do. He absolutely did. The Peppy, hello. Herbie with the great day, Brock and crew, Jody's, later, B-Rock Lobster, much love, much mouth with that. I'll get there, Mushy, I promise. Kimberly Bolden, Classic, cat herding. He's got to go herd the cats. Carnivorous, did you trim your nose hair? Outsider, hi. Yes, Carnivorous. Yes, I did. Yes, Carnivorous. I hate using the H word, but I got, or not the H word, the J word. The H word. Hiring? The J word, which is job. Okay? I hate saying it. I'm kidding. I gotta go get a job. Doing it. Trying to be responsible. Alright, look, there's someone standing behind you guys, and if you turn around real quick, it's gonna be Mushmouth, and there's Mushmouth. I think this dude's like 7'3". I'm not quite sure. He might be 6'7". Alright, he could be 6'6". I'm saying he's 6 foot, probably 9. Maybe, I don't know. How tall are you? Don't tell us. We need the mystery. Alright? We need the mystery, Mushmouth. But there he is, standing behind you. I need you guys to turn around, open your eyes wide, with arms wide open, under the sunlight. Okay, I need you to creed yourselves real quick, okay? Alright, I need you to creed it out. Alright, Scott Stapp with the, not Scott, don't snap because you'll be whatever. Scott with the flowing white shirt, right? With golden streaks. Okay, so we're creeding, and then and then here's my creed song. This is if Creed did my hug song. Okay, you put your left arm here. All right, yeah. You put your right arm here. Oh, yeah. You get your left hand sort of, and your right hand kind of. You put your left arm here. You put your right arm here. You got your left hand sort of, your right hand too. It's not that funny. I'm gonna count you down from 3 to 1. And at the end, we're gonna hold 3, 2, 1, hold. There it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, there it is. With arms wrapped around you. I'll hug you, 'cause you're a friend. Come on, guys. That was a good hug. That's a good hug. That was a good hug. Thank you, Marshmallow. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys soon. If you can't create your life, why live it, right?